having that extra time for breakfast because they were open early. Today we went down early and they were open. I thought, oh, good. You can
Here's
enjoy
a
your
traditional
breakfast.
Bosnian meal called cevapi. Hold it like that and film for a little bit while I put it in. Ooh. Many cevapis.
Chicken.
Seems a little weird. There's a lot of meat.
Running around the paddock collecting the chickens.
Yeah.
That's the way I think you eat it.
Except it's a little too many. So I'll just do it that. Here. Take a piece. Take it with your fingers. Just. Yeah. Ah! People are still working on my plate.
Guys, one more eggplant? You sure, Marshall? No more eggplant?
Chicken.
Yes.
I'm chicken boy.
Chicken is yet to be caught. Please, have patience.
Chicken only 3 days old. Nobody hurt me.
I'll be right back. 1 second. Move your leg. I'll be right back. Yeah, take some of my food. I'm going to take a second to live vlog outside Bosnia, Sarajevo, and Herzegovina. Oh, I keep messing up. Before things are too dark, you've had a taste of food, now you have a taste of what the city looks like. The city hall outside has a mix of different architectures. Bosnia was the basic trigger of the First World War when Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was assassinated here. I have no idea how far the Wi-Fi goes, so I'm just gonna stick from this point for a little bit and go outside in a second. Sarajevo has been described as the child of Vienna and Istanbul. I'm at Sarajevo's most famous restaurant. That's a long ass story. Quick read would be, after the Austrian-Hungarians monarchy occupied Bosnia and Herzegovina, they have begun to build various buildings, the post office, museums, the faculty of law, and different residential houses. But when they tried to build the city hall, they experienced Bosnian stubbornness. They wanted to build it at the right side of the river, Milaka, the enormous building never seen before in Sarajevo, which will show power of the ruling monarchy. But the exact location was in the property of an old man called Benderija, resident citizen of Sarajevo, who did not want to allow them to demolish his house and take his land away from him for any reason. The house was his internal piece, and he didn't want to give it away. After long negotiations, the stubborn man finally said that he would give up his property only if they give him a bag of golden coins and if they move his house brick by brick to the other side of the river. They had no choice but to do exactly what he requested for. In 1895, since then, Benderija's house is called uncuT, the Spite House, and in 97, it's turned into a lovely traditional Bosnian restaurant. The house is still there despite all governments and symbolizing stubbornness of the Bosnian man. uncuT is where I'm eating. Again, this is the most famous restaurant in Bosnia. What I'm going to do is show you that this is the house they recreated brick by brick. Instead of eating like I should, the food was cold anyway, so I'm just going to continue vlogging. I'm going to walk through the house and show what the architecture looks like. Oh, you can see now both Ottoman and Eastern European influences. Oh, now that we know that it is a house, you can see the architecture does very much look like a house. My food arrived slightly cold anyways, so that's why I'm taking a tour around this very famous restaurant and historical site in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm in the capital of Sarajevo. To beat a dead horse. This house is of historical significance because the local government tried to pay off the owner of this house to move so that they could build the city hall. And he was what they call in modern times a stubborn douchebag. He insisted that the house was his and that no form of money could pay him off. So he mentioned an additional condition on top of a bag of gold coins, which was that they move this same house brick by brick to a new location across the river. They did so, and now his house is a restaurant and historical site. I'm sure if I could read the local language, some of these framed artifacts would tell you more about the story. Now that I'm live vlogging, you can see remnants of what look like a classic house. Old pictures, ornaments, appliances, and this very low ceiling. I mean, I'm an average, or maybe slightly shorter than average sized woman, but even I have to duck under this low clearing. Leaning outside outside the window, we see the minaret of a mosque. This is a secular country that welcomes all religions. I was in a part of the city earlier that had a synagogue, a mosque, a church, all within walking distance of each other. That said, you can say that Muslim majority is about 45%. Even the ceiling of the house contains some interesting artifacts. A little more information, but I only know the basics. Probably eat my cevapi. I'm still more concerned with recording the historical highlights of the house itself. I appreciate that man's stubbornness. I think most people would say concerning fundamental values of mine, I'm equally as stubborn. I'm a ride or die kind of chick, but with my own self, with my own values. This also means I'm sometimes difficult to get along with. That's okay though. I enjoy my own company. That's the most important part. Okay. Back down. I'm coming. The rest just looks like a typical restaurant. So instead of having a number of random people in my vlog, I will end it here.